matai temukalale nafyarirwe mwembona majeke chokulepa nandibona alikwata kwesu shabanga bana banomba bashayishi boko bafuma betinda byokulumbanya alikwata nechilumba umwone boye kwesu febalele bakusamba panika mwembona kufala matai temukalale nafyarirwe mwembona majeke chokulepa andibona alikwata kwesu shabanga bana banomba basyaisi boko bafuma betinda byokulumbanya alikwata nechilumba umwone boye kwesu febalele bakusamba panika umwone boye kwesu febalele bakusamba panika nefumushizano shakuteka bamwe wae bakalamba kwabashirisha kumulundu nibamwasa kombe na shitembo shimbishirisha kabangwe uluni bambuluwe kabamulongwe nefumushizano shakuteka bamwe wae bakalamba kwabashirisha kumulundu nibamwasa kombe na shitembo shimbishirisha kabangwe uluni bambuluwe kabamulongwe mwana basongola meno bena bakwabo nitambi mwana basongola meno bena bakwabo nitambi mwana bakolo tokumenso nabo bene kwabo nitambi mwana bakolo tokumenso nabo bene kwabo nitambi mwana emisisi ya pemu bena bakwabo nitambi mwana emisisi ya pemu bena bakwabo nitambi nabo bapika wile kisungu mukalale mwena kemunyabo tangu bapika wile kisungu mukalale mwena kemunyabo alakumba nebo ekwesu febalele bakusamba panika inombanu mbulene mikoa ekwisi befyo na ikala inombanu mbulene mikoa ekwisi befyo na ikala batatane bubena mumba batani nekisiki mwali bamayo bena balumbu nanguntilia bena kasimu nombo kupanka nentambi nemwine ndipina kasimu umumba nebo ekwesu febalele bakusamba panika inombanu mbulene mikoa ekwisi befyo na ikala nombanu mbulene mikoa ekwisi befyo na ikala batata nebubena mumba batani nekisiki mbwali bamayo bena balumbu nanguntilia bena kasimu nombo kupanka nentambi nemwine ndipina kasimu umumba nebo ekwesu febalele bakusamba panika.
Good evening, Zambia. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are joining us this evening. It's 21 hours Zambian time, so this is on Thursday, so this only means one thing. Thursday night motivation with Frank Saliki. I hope you are all doing well. I hope you've had a wonderful Christmas. I hope it was a time for you to reflect. It was a time for you to spend time with your family. I hope really a time to be able to do things that we can never do, spend time with our loved ones. So this evening, what I would like to do is, if you can just write in the comment where you're joining us this evening, what part of Zambia you're joining us this evening, where in the world you're joining us this evening. And if you can just indulge me, if you've got some New Year's resolutions, if you can just put in the box, don't tell me what they are, they're yours, those are yours, and not for you to share with everyone. But if you can just write in there, I've got my own New Year's resolutions. So if you can just write in them. For me, it's quite interesting. This time of the year is a very interesting time because it's the only time of the year that a lot of people get to think about what their life could be, what they really would want to do with their life. So at the turn of every new year, people get to think about all these things. They get to think about their dreams. They get to think about where they would like their lives to be. So it's a very interesting time. So if you got New Year's resolutions, if you can just say, I've got my own, don't tell me what they're yours. At the end of the day, your goals are yours. And for all of you who have been supporting TV Bakwetu, I would like to say thank you for supporting us. And I hope you can still continue supporting us. You can support us by buying some stars. That keeps us going, and we keep bringing you all the programs, all the information that we bring you here on TV Bakwetu. So if you're able to support that with buying the stars, and also you can also become a member of TV Bakwetu. And also you can see there's a blue button there. You can become a member by pressing that blue button, and you can join the fun that we have in the background. So if you want to be part of the family. So thank you for everyone for supporting us. And as I've said, for some of you who are joining me for the first time, Thursday night at 21 hours is a time that we talk motivation. It's a time that we think about our lives. We think about things we can do and where we can take our lives. And since this is the last Thursday of the year, and I was thinking about New Year. New Year is a time that people start thinking about what their lives could be, what they can do with their lives, and where they can take their lives. So I picked the topic this evening. Don't make a New Year's resolution, make a decision. If you're honest with yourself, you probably have made so many New Year's resolutions of the years, but they fall on the wayside. Because we make New Year's resolutions every year because there's this belief that human beings have that the movement of time changes your life. We always say it's a new year. We expect that in a new year, things are going to be difficult. We almost expect that the obstacles that were there in the previous year are going to all of a sudden disappear. Those obstacles are not going to disappear. Those obstacles are going to be there. Nothing changes automatically on its own just because we've moved to a new year. Nothing will change. Things will only change when you make a decision to change. Nothing changes on its own. Nothing in your life changes on its own. Your marriage will not become any better just because we've moved in 2022. Your job will not become any better just because we move into 2022. I can promise you, you're not going to go to work in 2022 and your boss says, since it's a new year, you got a promotion. It's not going to happen. Things are not going to change just because we're moving into the new year. And that's the reason why year after year, people make New Year's resolutions, but nothing changes. Because the excitement of the new year does not last long. This excitement of a brand new year is short-lived. Because after the first, the second, the third, by the fifth, that excitement goes and we're back into our daily routine. We're starting to think about work. We're starting to think about bills. We start to think about the money that we do not have in January because we spent a little bit too much in December. And that zeal, that thrill, the thrill of a new year disappears. Now, why do I say don't make a New Year's resolution? Make a decision. A decision is more powerful than a New Year's resolution. A decision, time does not determine your decision. What time of the year it is does not determine your decision. What is going on around you does not determine your decision. Once you make a decision to do something, you stick at it. Okay, so I'll give you an example. The people who make decisions, a friend of mine came in one day and he was about to light his cigarette. And we had spoken to him for a long time about probably giving up smoking, not good for you. We told him all those things. And this one day he just said, no more. He didn't light up his cigarette. He didn't say, I'm going to smoke the last cigarette, then I won't smoke again. He just threw it. He said, no more. I'm not going to smoke. He made a decision. So this it makes me laugh because people they say this, when I go out drinking on New Year's Eve, that'll be the last time I go out drinking. Okay? That will be the last time I go out drinking. That is not a decision. Because they're probably not going to drink for a few days in the new year because they drank way too much and they don't feel very well over the few days. That's not a decision. A decision is when you say no more. A decision is when you wake up and say, I'm going to do whatever it takes to become the success I want to be. A decision is when I failed my high school exams and said, I'm not going to live my life this way. I'm going to turn my life around. That was a decision. Yes, we get a bit of an uplift because it's a new year, but the feeling of a new year does not last long. And that's where people lose momentum. I love it when I go running after the new year. I see people going running, their New Year's resolution is to become healthy. After 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, you see them. After that, you don't see them anymore. Because all of a sudden, their beds are more comfortable in the morning. All of a sudden, going running at 5 o'clock in the morning is not that exciting. And the thrill that the new year brought slowly disappears and they go back to their own routine. Because for them, they said, this year is going to change my life. But what I'm trying to say to you this evening is don't say 2022 is going to change my life. I want you to make a decision to change your life. It doesn't matter if you make it because it's a new year, but I want you to make a decision to understand that you are the one to change your life. It's not the movement of time that is going to change your life. It's a decision that you make that is going to determine whether your life is going to be a success or a flop. It's not a decision that others make for you. It's not a decision that is determined by what is going out in the market. It's not a decision what is determined by what is going on outside. It's a decision that you make. The movement of time will never change your life. Just because we're going into a new year, that does not mean things are going to be easy. Just because we're going to the new year, it won't mean there will be a lot of jobs available. Just because we're going in the new year, it doesn't mean it'll be easier to do business. And this is the reason so many people fail when they set New Year's resolutions, because they set New Year's resolution with the anticipation that things are going to be easier in the following year. Are you with me? They set New Year's resolution with the anticipation and the expectation that things are going to be easier in the new year. But they never forget something. My friends, listen, we can never achieve beyond what we think we are capable of. We can never achieve beyond what we think we are. So something that we need to do is not focus on the changing of the year, but let us focus on the changing of the mindset. What sort of mindset do I need to start having if I'm going to be a success in a particular field? What sort of mindset do I need to have if I'm going to be a success in a particular area? We're where we are, we're who we are because of what has gone into our minds. And we can change who we are and what we are by changing what goes into our minds. For so many people, they're trying to change their external environment without changing their internal environment. We cannot achieve beyond what we think we're capable of. So setting goals out there for the new year, saying this is going to be the year that I do all those great things, when inside of you, you don't believe you're capable of achieving those things, when you don't believe you can achieve those things that you're setting out to, you're never going to achieve them. Because none of us really do, and none of us do anything that we believe we cannot achieve. We simply never do that. As human beings, we're not wired that way. We're not wired to wake up every single day and just do anything that we think we can't achieve. And this is the thing about New Year's resolutions. You said this is going to be the year I'm going to do this and the other. After a few days, you discover it's very hard to do, so you absolutely give up. If you make a decision to do a thing, You're making a decision to say, I am going to do this no matter what the obstacles are, no matter how many people are going to try to tell me I can't do it, no matter how many setbacks I'm going to face along the way, but this I'm going to do. This I'm going to achieve. This is what I'm going to set up myself to do. It is not going to be determined by what other people are saying. It's going to be determined by the actions that I take. When you make a decision, what you're doing is you're cutting yourself out of anything that has gone beyond beforehand. You're saying, I'm going to do whatever it takes to become a success. When you make a decision to do something, if you have to walk to work somewhere for 20 kilometers, but go come, you're going to do that because that's a decision you've made. And when you make a decision, you find a way. The people who do not make a decision to do a particular thing, they find a way out. The other element that drives decision making are two very important phrases. Now I'm going to give you two extreme examples. So the first one is Mother Teresa. The second one is Donald Trump. Now I can tell you, these two people are driven by two exact same things. Two exact same things. Now I'm comparing Donald Trump and Mother Teresa in the same sentence. You must be thinking, Frank Saliki, you're off your rockers, son. But let me explain this. So Mother Teresa and Donald Trump are driven by two things, and those two things are pain and pleasure. So first of all, for Donald Trump, for him, pain came from not coming number one at anything. Pleasure came by coming number one, a business, whatever he was doing. Or by thinking he's done better than the person he's doing business with, and negotiated a lot better, he's negotiated a better deal. For him, that brought pleasure. For Mother Teresa, what brought pain to her was seeing people suffering. What brought pleasure to her was helping those people who are suffering. Now, those are two extremes of pain and pleasure. As human beings, we're driven by the desire to gain pleasure and to avoid pain. And these two things drive the things that we do. So if you set a New Year's resolution to say, I'm going to be working very hard this year, but your number one pleasure is to spend time with your friends. And if the thing that you set a New Year's resolutions to requires you to spend a lot less time with your friends, you're not going to do it because your number one pleasure comes from spending time with your friends. So you don't really achieve the dream that you set out to, because that will take you away from the pleasure that you really want. Okay? If for example, your pain is no more, I'm sick, I'm tired of living this life, and I want to do better. If then, when you sit there and you feel the pain of failing, if you feel the pain of going to an interview and you don't get the job because you didn't prepare very well, those things will drive you to change in your life. That's where decisions come from. Decisions is when a Frank Saliki opens his exam results and he's failed his high school and says, no more, I'm not going to be a failure in life, I'm going to turn my life around. You go and do whatever it takes. It did not matter how many people supported me, even though the teachers around me said I was not good enough. That did not matter. I had made a decision that I was going to go to university and that I was going to graduate. I had made that decision. When you make a decision, one thing that you become blind and deaf to what other people around you are saying. Okay, you become blind and deaf to what other people are saying. New Year's resolution is, oh, this year is going to be easy. Somebody says, you know what, that can't be done. What happens? You give it up because your eyes and your ears are open to what everyone else is saying. But I want you to sit there and be bold enough to say, this is going to be my year. This is going to be the beginning of the rest of my life. I'm not going to make a resolution. I'm going to make a decision. A decision that I'm not going to live my life this way anymore. A decision that I'm not going to live my life. I'm not going to live below my capabilities. There's so many people who could be doing so many great things, but they're living their lives below their true potential. They never get to realize them. I live in an environment where English is not my first language. But I wrote a book in English. I live in an environment where English is not my first language. I decided to become a motivational speaker and I spoke to English people. That was my decision to say, this is all I'm going to do. When you make a decision, inferiority complex disappears. You don't look at what you have right now. You look at what you can have by walking on that journey. And my friends, I want in 2020 to start 2022 to start walking on that journey. Okay? You're not going to achieve your success in 2022. That's one thing that you have to understand. When you make a decision, the decision that you make is, I'm in this for a long haul. I'm not in this so that I can see success tomorrow. I'm in this to do whatever it takes to see success. I'm in this to do whatever, no matter how long it takes, I'm going to be in this so that I can see the success that I want. So many people said, I'm going to work on this. They work 3 months. They don't see any results that they want and they give up. I can tell you right now, the most difficult part of any journey is when you don't see any results at all in what you're doing. You're working so hard, you're doing overtime, you're meeting people, you're networking with people, but you don't see the results. That is the most difficult part of any journey. That is a part that talented people completely give up on their goals because they cannot see any results. So this brings me to the second element. Where are you going? Because of the resolutions that you're setting yourself, where are you going to go? What do you want to achieve at the end of that? Because it does not matter when you achieve it, knowing what you're going to achieve is very important. So many people say, I'm going to set a new resolution. I ask the question, what do you want to achieve at the end of it? They really don't know what they want to achieve at the end of it. Your destination, my friends, becomes your road and stuff that comforts you in difficult moments. The moment that you think about giving up, you can say, this is where I want to be. I can see where I want to be. I can see what I want to achieve. I can visualize where I want to go. And because I can visualize where I want to go, I'll keep going no matter how difficult things get. Because no matter who you are, things get tough in life. Life is not a child's play. Life is not just, life doesn't say, hello, Mr. Frank Saliki, you've set yourself a goal. I'm going to get out of your way. Go and get your goal. Life never said that to me. It never has. In everything that I've done, I always say this to people, there are other people out there who are more gifted than I am. There are people out there who could write better than I do, but they have not written. Why? Because they've not made a decision to. There are people out there who could make better motivation speakers than I am, but why am I doing it and they're not? Because they've not made a decision to. There are people out there who could make better human resource managers than I am, but they're not. Why? Because they've not made a decision to. There are people out there who could probably have achieved a lot better in the 2 master's degree that I did than I have. But why are they not? They've not made a decision to. There are people out there who are so gifted and talented, but they're living in mediocrity simply because they have not made a decision to utilize their talents. They've not made a decision to say, I'm going to I'm going to go out there and do whatever it takes to become the success that I was born to be. So many people could be doing wonderful, great things out there and not doing those things because they have simply not made that decision to go out there and transform their lives. So when you think about the new year, I want you to remember, as I said at the beginning, the moment of time does not change your life. The fact that we're moving in 2022 does not mean your life will change automatically. Your life will not be the same. But when we wake up, when we wake up in 2022, our lives will be exactly the way they were at 23:59 on the 31st of December 2021. The same problems that you had were still going to be there. If you had money problems, those money problems are going to be there. If you had marital problems, those marital problems are still going to be there. If you had family problems, those family problems are still going to be there. Nothing's going to change. How do things change when you change them? Frank, how do my circumstances change? Your circumstances will only change when you change. How does one bring about that change? When you make a decision to change your circumstances. When you make a decision to say, I want to make my life better. I want to improve everything in my life. I want to go out there and do the things that matter to me. I want to go out there and live the life that I want. I want to go out there and be a winner that I was born to be. That I'm not going to wait for a moment of time anymore. I'm going to go out there and simply do the things that I know I should have been doing all these years. I don't care how old you are. I want to tell you this story. The power of decision. When I started my journey as a life coach, I went to this training, and one of the people who was there was 70 years old. She was a 70 years old woman. She's a good friend of mine now. And we're doing the coaching course together. We qualified a few months. She became a life coach at 70. She said, I don't know if I can do this. But at 73 years old, she decided, I want to do the things that are important to me. All these years I've made a decision not to do the things that matter to me, but I don't want to go out in this world when my last day comes. I don't want to look back and say I never did the things that I wanted to do. And at 73 years old, she became a life coach, one of the most brilliant coaches I know out there, because she simply made the decision that she was going to make her life better. When you make a decision that you're going to make your life better, you're going to do the difficult things. You're going to go out there and deal with the things that have been holding you back. When you make a decision to change your life, you're going to go out there and do the difficult things that other people won't do. When you make a decision to change your life, you will do things others won't do today in order for you to have things others won't have tomorrow. In order for you to do the thing, you will be able to do the things others won't do today in order for you to have the things others won't have tomorrow. This, my friend, is the most important element when it comes to a successful and productive life. Being able to turn up every single day and say, this I'm going to do, this I'm going to achieve, and I'm going to take my life to a new level. For so many people, they could be doing so many great things today, but they're not, simply because they cannot see any greatness. They cannot see what is going on out there for them. It's very important that we understand this. It's very important we understand where we can take our lives. It's very important we understand what we can achieve. So many of us could be doing so many great things, but we're not. Why? Because we have not made a decision. So this year, as you ponder on your 22 New Year's resolution. I want you to focus more on making decision for your life, not New Year's resolutions, decisions for your life. What can I start in 2022 that is going to transform my life? What am I willing to commit? We don't get in life what we want, we get in life what we do on a consistent basis. So, what am I willing to commit to, no matter how tough things are going to be? What am I willing to lose in order to get the things that I want? Along the way, you might lose friendships. Along the way, here's the thing: you lose friendships, you get new friends. So you ask yourself, what am I willing to give up? What am I willing to lose? What gives me more pleasure? Is it leaving? Is it pleasing other people, or does leaving below my potential, my capabilities, give me so much pain? So these are the things that we really have to focus on. These are the things that we really have to consider on a daily basis to say, what can I do to transform my life? What can I do to take my life to a new level? If we do this, our lives will never ever be the same. Let us make 2022 the beginning of the rest of our lives. I don't want you to make decision because it's a new year. I want you to make a decision for your life because you're tired of the way life is and you want to change and you want to do better and you want to take your life to a new level and you want to keep growing and you want to to propel your life to a new level, that you want to see greater results for yourself and your family, that you really get tired. I want you to be sick and tired of just living below your capabilities. You've got something special, my friend. You were designed for accomplishment, you're engineered for success, and you're endowed with a seed of greatness. And you've got a gift that you can use to take your life to a new level. So let us make 2022 the beginning of the rest of your life. Remember, the moment of time does not change your life. So 2022 is not changing your life at all. The decision that you make will change your life. Remember, my friend, as much as you dream, so can you be. Decide what you want to do with your life and go and be that. Because you, my friend, you are born to win. Thank you so much for joining me on Thursday Night Motivation with Frank Saliki here on TV Bakwetu. It's always a pleasure to be with you. It's always a pleasure to share my lessons with you. Just like me, for me, and it's always a pleasure for me because there was a time that I never really knew what I could do. I was a kid who never believed himself. I was a kid who never believed I can do great things with my life. So being able to share what I've learned is a pleasure for me. And I hope for you, you take something out of it that is going to help you along the way. And 2022 is a great year for you to be able to begin to do special things in your life because you're truly, and when I say this, I don't say it lightly. You've got greatness in you. You are born to win, but a lot of times we never use that greatness. And I hope you're able to sit back and truly make that decision to say, I want something more for my life. I want something more for my family. I want something that I can wake up to every single day and enjoy doing that particular thing. Thank you so much for all your support that you give on TV Bakwetu, and we'll be bringing you more. So tomorrow at 21 hours Zambian time, we've got a special interview. So I sit down with a man who interviews almost everyone who comes on TV Bakwetu. So tomorrow night I'll be interviewing our very own, the founder of TV Bakwetu, our very own Dr. Elias Munsha. So tomorrow I sit down in conversation with Dr. Elias Munsha. We'll talk about everything from why he started doing the things he does, how he got into practicing law and what passionate about running and all those things. So tomorrow we sit down and we have a conversation with Dr. Elias Munsha. So I'm looking forward to that. So I hope you can join me for that at 2100 hours Zambian time tomorrow. You can see another side of our good Dr. Elias Munsha and the things that he does. And we're really gonna get into why he does why he does what he does, and you get to see another side of the man that you see every single day. So join us for that tomorrow at 2100 hours. Frank Saliki in conversation with Dr. Elias Musha. Don't miss out on that. And I know you probably want to go and have your New Year's party, but whatever you're going to be doing, if you're going to be out, just you can come and catch up on the replay. So join us tomorrow, 2100 hours. Frank Saliki in conversation with Dr. Elias Musha. That's going to be a pleasure. So in all that you do, my friends, what's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me on my program this evening, and I look forward to seeing you every Thursday at 2100 hours. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I wish you a wonderful and prosperous 2022. May the good Lord bless you and keep you and make his face to be gracious upon you. And in all that you do, go out there and do what it takes. Remember, all you can do is all you can do. Go and live your dream. Have a good night, and it's a goodbye from me.